Have you noticed that My Arcade has dropped a partnership announcement or new product reveal on social media every day since before Christmas? I sure have, and it's been all I can do to keep up. Last week, they shared that new licensing arrangement with Sega, and among the titles called out on the press graphic was Sonic the Hedgehog. And now, this morning, we get our first glimpse of at least one of the new products featuring everybody's favorite high-speed spiky mammal. We'll take a quick look next.
If you're a Gen X grown-up, this YouTube channel is just the beginning. Go beyond gaming with a casual and humorous take on movies, music, TV, tech, pop culture, and more. Hear the weekly Gen X Grown Up podcast anywhere you like to listen, or visit genxgrownup.com/pod.
Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John, and I am a Gen X Grown Up. In the early 90s, when Sega was battling with Nintendo over home console dominance, they knew they needed a charismatic mascot to do for them what Mario did for Nintendo, put a friendly cartoon face on their corporate identity. Sonic, the edgy, radical hedgehog, not only did just that, but also spawned a franchise which has spanned decades and is, in fact, still going strong today. So, bringing classic Sonic games home again in a line of standalone gaming devices should have wide appeal. An appeal I'm sure My Arcade is banking on. The player they're showing off today looks to be of the Joystick player variety, like the recent Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man units we saw released just a couple of months ago. Now, in this first image, we see the lower right edge of the control deck. Now, this is the flat part that juts out from the base of the game unit on Joystick players. You can see there's a single full-size arcade-style push button. Get back to that in a second. We can also see a steel shaft joystick, but they don't show us whether it's ball top or bat top. I'm gonna guess that it's ball top. Otherwise, I think you could probably see the lower edge of the plastic bat here. Now, when I first spoke about Sonic on the Sega announcement video, I postulated that Sonic fans would likely prefer a D-pad over a full-size joystick. But I was then educated by bigger Sega fans than I that Sega in fact had produced a full-size joystick for the Genesis that was quite popular. So perhaps this control style won't be as odd as I had presumed. Which leads me to my next observation. Why is the button at the lower right of the joystick instead of the upper right of the joystick? That seems counterintuitive to me, to have my button hand lower than my joystick hand. It seems odd in my brain, but when compared to the alignment between the stick and the A button of the arcade power stick, it might be just about right. I'm gonna need to go hands-on to make a final judgment. Moving on to this second image, not that much to see. This is the top of a typical joystick player. This is that fin design that we've seen before, so I'm sure they're using the same mold for this part of it. Again, no illuminated marquee, which is standard as of late, and you can see some Sega branding there on the side. And with the pixelated clouds, I'm sure some more Sonic artwork adorns the rest of the side art. And finally, the third and last image of the front ledge below the screen. Now you can see some more artwork here inspired by Sonic graphics, and there are two buttons, Home and Start. Now this is a sure sign of more than one game, thus the need to go home and select it. Otherwise, you'd only need a start button. Stop right there. Okay, this is John in the edit, and as I'm doing the edit and noticing, earlier I said I wasn't sure whether or not this was going to be a ball top or a bat top, but if you look right here, the reflection on the kick plate of the vertical part of this joystick player, you can see this circular, it's either a reflection or a shadow, but I think that pretty much confirms that this is a ball top joystick on here. So if you weren't sure and that mattered to you, I think this is some confirmation. Okay, carry on. But we don't yet know which game or games will be included. Now, certainly from the controls, nothing that requires more than a single button, since that's all we saw on the control deck, and most certainly we'll be getting Sega Genesis ROMs, but I suppose others like Game Gear might be possible in a collection like this. My Arcade was a little stingy with sneak peek images for this joystick player, but we've seen joystick players before and can probably put the pieces together in our own heads. If you want to see the complete picture and more Sega and Sonic offerings coming this year, I am headed to CES 2025 next week, where I'll spend a couple of days at the My Arcade booth, and I'll be sharing everything I see and learn with you. So be sure to stick around. Meanwhile, I will throw links to other CES 2025 videos here and here. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this quick video, and I can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.